In this video, there are 7 very dangerous vitamin and mineral deficiencies you need to know about and avoid if you want your kidneys to recover. There are natural remedies, superfoods, and supplements that can treat these deficiencies, but they can only help if you know exactly what needs to be addressed. Fixing nutritional deficiencies means you'll start feeling better very quickly. And this will also help your kidneys recover. Nutritional deficiencies are no joke for people with kidney issues, that's why learning about them is the key to improvement. So, let's get started right away. Number 7 is an uncommon deficiency that can especially affect people who follow a healthy diet: iodine deficiency. Iodine is an essential mineral, the thyroid gland relies heavily on it. Never underestimate the importance of the thyroid. If it isn't functioning well, the symptoms can seriously affect your kidneys and many other parts of your body. Severe iodine deficiency symptoms include an enlarged thyroid gland, causing a bulge in the neck, goiter, but may also include fatigue, constipation, sensitivity to cold temperatures, and in some cases, unexplained weight gain. Now, what you may not know about iodine is that table salt, often iodized, is where most people get this mineral. So, how much table salt is in your diet? If your answer is none at all, consider this. According to studies, iodine deficiency is one of the most common nutritional deficiencies, affecting nearly 1/3 of the world's population. People at higher risk of this deficiency are those living in countries with very little iodine in the soil. This includes South Asia and Southeast Asia, New Zealand, and some European countries. But also, vegetarians and those who do not use iodized salt are at risk. Focus on the solution, not the problem. How do you avoid iodine deficiency? Adding iodized salt to a kidney-friendly diet is something only a fool would recommend. Fortunately, there are a few foods that are safe for kidney diets and rich in iodine. Egg yolks. On average, one large egg contains 24 micrograms of iodine in the yolk, about 16% of the daily value. Another good dietary source of iodine is seaweed, especially wakame. Wakame is one of the main edible seaweeds. This sea vegetable is widely used in Asian cuisine. It's sold dried, and once soaked, wakame can easily replace leafy greens in your favorite salads. This seaweed isn't just an excellent source of iodine, it also has an impressive nutritional profile. Even in small amounts, it can help boost your intake of minerals like manganese, folate, magnesium, and calcium. Perfect for people with kidney problems. But there's also kombu kelp. Kombu kelp is a brown seaweed sold dried or as a fine powder. It's often used to make a Japanese soup stock called dashi. Kombu kelp can contain up to 3,000 micrograms of iodine per seaweed sheet, 1 gram. This provides nearly 2,000% of the recommended daily intake and is an easy way to resolve iodine deficiency. Now that we've covered that, let's look at another deficiency. Number 6 is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin, is a water-soluble vitamin. Deficiency in this vitamin is very common. Just in the US alone, there are over 3 million cases each year. How do you know if you're deficient in vitamin B12? Aside from some nonspecific symptoms like fatigue, joint pain, and dizziness, B12 deficiency can also cause pale yellow skin and a pins and needles sensation in the hands. Luckily, fixing this common deficiency can help you feel more energized and may support your kidney health. That's because this vitamin is essential for blood formation, as well as brain and nerve function. Essential means your body needs it and cannot produce it on its own. So, it's especially important for people with kidney disease to find ways to get enough vitamin B12 daily. So how can you get enough of this nutrient? The best sources of this nutrient are dairy products, meat, and supplements. So you can understand why people with kidney issues might struggle to get enough vitamin B12. However, there's one food you can eat that's a good source of this vitamin: nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a food favored by many vegetarians and vegans because it can help prevent nutrient deficiencies. Nutritional yeast is similar to the yeast people use in baking, but it undergoes a heating and drying process that makes it inactive. Thanks to its nutritional content, yeast in this form can boost a person's energy, support their immune system, and provide additional health benefits. One of these benefits is helping with vitamin B12 deficiency. Just a quarter cup of this yeast contains about 17 micrograms mcg of vitamin B12. However, you should keep in mind that your daily vitamin B12 intake should be about 2.4 micrograms per day, so you need less than a teaspoon of nutritional yeast. You can add it to sauces, chili, or curry. Or you can sprinkle nutritional yeast on oil-free popcorn for a healthy snack. Number 5 is a deficiency that is easy to fix, and as a bonus, correcting it can also help lower your blood pressure. Magnesium deficiency, also known as hypomagnesemia, is a commonly overlooked health issue. It's particularly common in people with diabetes. Although true magnesium deficiency is rare, one study found that up to 75% of Americans don't get enough magnesium. How do you know if you're magnesium deficient? Often, the first symptom of magnesium deficiency is loss of appetite. Fatigue, muscle spasms and cramps, and even irregular heartbeat may occur. It's clear from these symptoms that this is a hard problem to detect. The symptoms can easily be misdiagnosed until your magnesium levels become dangerously low. Now, another major symptom of this deficiency is high blood pressure. And while that may seem like a bad thing, there are studies linking magnesium-rich diets or magnesium supplements to reduced blood pressure. So, if you have kidney problems and diabetes, magnesium deficiency is another thing you should watch for in your next checkup. Don't take magnesium supplements unless your doctor tells you to. Instead, focus on healthy foods that contain this mineral. These include tofu, almonds, cashews, flax seeds, spinach, dark chocolate, oatmeal, and quinoa. Many of these foods can be regulars in a kidney-friendly diet. They're a great way to get enough of other important nutrients too, actually. Number 4. Next is a common deficiency that has no symptoms, so be careful with this one: calcium deficiency. This is a common issue for people with chronic kidney disease, CKD. It's actually related to phosphorus. You may already know that people with kidney disease need to limit their phosphorus intake. Damaged kidneys can't remove phosphorus very well. And when this mineral becomes too abundant, the body needs to bind it with calcium to get rid of it. This can cause calcium problems, a condition called mineral and bone disorder. Typically, this disorder is detected through regular blood tests. If you have kidney issues, you should get tested regularly for calcium deficiency. Now, calcium is the most abundant mineral in the body. About 99% of calcium in the body is found in bones and teeth. Plus, calcium acts as a signaling molecule. Without it, your heart, muscles, and nerves can't function. If calcium levels remain low for a long time, people may develop dry, flaky skin, brittle nails, and hair problems. Muscle cramps, especially in the back and legs, are common. Osteoporosis is also very common in cases of calcium deficiency. The best way to prevent this issue is to be very careful with phosphorus intake. Foods like dairy products, meat, poultry, and even packaged foods that contain phosphates should be avoided. Unfortunately, These foods are also among the best dietary sources of calcium. But there are also some calcium-rich foods that you can actually eat. These include soy and soy-based products, but also almonds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, and wakame, a type of seaweed. There are 3 very common deficiencies in people with kidney disease that you should plan your diet around. I'm not joking. If you don't address these 3 deficiencies, you're putting yourself at unnecessary risk. Number 3 is iron. This deficiency is so common that you could say if you're feeling fatigued and have stage 3 or 4 kidney disease, it's probably iron deficiency anemia. This type of anemia happens when you don't get enough iron and your body struggles to make enough red blood cells. Red blood cells carry oxygen to your tissues and organs, so without enough of them, you'll feel extremely tired. And your kidneys need this precious oxygen too. Just like any other organ in the body, they won't stay healthy if they don't get enough oxygen. Other signs of this deficiency include headaches, difficulty concentrating, pale skin, and dizziness. People with anemia also often have cold hands and feet. Now, eating an iron-rich diet is very helpful if you've been diagnosed with this deficiency. And there are some iron-rich superfoods out there. Luckily, there are also some of the healthiest foods you can find, so make sure you're eating the ones you see here often. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, bok choy, as well as whole grains like oats and barley, not to mention nuts and legumes. All of these foods are incredibly healthy, so eat them often, no matter what. Now, the key when it comes to iron is combining the right foods. Plant-based iron isn't easily absorbed by the body, unless you eat it with foods rich in vitamin C. So when you're eating kale, be sure to drizzle it with a bit of lemon juice. And don't forget about cast iron cookware. It's a best friend for people with anemia. Cooking in one of these, especially if you marinate with something acidic like lemon, draws iron from the pan into your food. This is a super easy and safe way to get more iron without taking supplements. There are also iron supplements you can take, but iron supplements should always be prescribed by your doctor. Now, on to the second deficiency you absolutely need to know about. Number 2 is essential amino acids. Okay, this one's a dangerous deficiency. It's also very, very common in people with kidney disease, especially those on low-protein diets. Technically, amino acids aren't vitamins or minerals, but they're so commonly deficient in people with kidney disease that I had to include them. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, which in turn are the building blocks of the human body. The issue with amino acids is that they're pre-assembled. See this Lego brick wall? That's a protein. When you get protein from food, your body has to break it down into smaller pieces. The Lego bricks here represent amino acids. When your body has enough of the right amino acids, it can reassemble them to build tissue, muscle, organs, skin, basically everything in your body. This process is absolutely essential. If you don't eat enough protein, you won't get enough amino acids, and you could become malnourished. That can lead to a chain of health problems, including rapid kidney function decline. But when you eat protein, breaking down that Lego wall puts a heavy burden on your kidneys. In fact, one of the most effective ways to slow kidney disease progression, even in later stages, is to eat very little or almost no protein. Patients on this kind of diet, called a VLPD, very low protein diet, are often advised to take a special type of amino acid supplement designed specifically for people with kidney problems. Now it's time for number 1. Our number 1 is what experts call the kidney vitamin. Make sure you're not deficient in this. Number 1, vitamin D. This is one of the vitamins that people with kidney disease often need to supplement, especially those following a plant-based diet, which, in my opinion, is the best diet possible. This happens because nearly 80% of people with kidney disease have insufficient vitamin D levels. There are dozens of possible symptoms if you're deficient in vitamin D: fatigue, bone pain, back pain, muscle aches, but also hair loss is a very common symptom if you don't get enough of this nutrient. Vitamin D is also essential for your immune system, so getting sick often or having poor wound healing can be symptoms. And even depression. Yep, all of that from just one vitamin. So what should you do now? The best sources of vitamin D include shiitake mushrooms, egg yolks, fortified foods, and salmon. But also keep in mind that you can get plenty of vitamin D from sunlight, so don't miss out on soaking up some sun, especially during the short days of winter. Vitamin D can be supplemented, absolutely, but not all supplements are safe for people with kidney disease. People with kidney disease can't just take any regular multivitamin. And as always, take great care of your kidneys and be kind to yourself. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.